Limits of the Flesh, Chapter 25, Fantasy Fiction by Azazyel. After a minute of us all just hanging out in the clubhouse as we were so used to, Grayfia's voice rang out from within the pocket dimension as she began her announcer duties. This is Grayfia Lucifuge, acting as arbitrator and announcer for this raiding game between Rias Gremory and Riser Phenex, with the ante for this raiding game being the marriage contract between them. Other than that, there is also a contract between the Red Dragon Emperor, who is in Rias's Peerage, and Riser Phenex, who has bet 3 members of his Peerage for one of the Red Dragon Emperor's possessions. Grayfia explained, hyping up the stakes of the raiding game. Now the raiding game officially begins in 30 seconds at the sound of the buzzer. May the odds be ever your favor, Grayfia said with her mic cutting off as Rias quickly turned to her Peerage and began rattling off orders. Rias, rather than have me with Kaneko and take the gym, have Artoria do that. I will go directly for Riser, as he is going to be monologuing in the background like a shitty villain, I advised, and she frowned, and seeing her unconvinced I held an arm out and swept across her Peerage. Rias, all your Peerage members are stronger than his individually by far. I will probably beat a couple in order to get to him, and so long as Kaneko isn't caught by some powerful magic and Kiba doesn't let his chivalry take over his head, then I am assured they can fight through their foes, I continued, and Rias looked to Akino, who nodded confidently. Fine, just be careful, Jake, we will do our best to crush his Peerage and come help you when we can, Rias said, still frowning, but she shrugged as she decided to allow her Longinus wielder, who was the Peerage's trump card anyway, get into the thick of it. Plus, I need space away from you all if I am going to fight and not harm you all, I said dryly, with Kaneko throwing me a dirty look at having been on the receiving end of my Autumn's Decay ability that stole everyone in the vicinity's life force. Let him fight alone, the more they dogpile him the easier it will be for everyone. Kaneko deadpan, giving me a smile of mischief as she was probably imagining me getting my ass kicked by Riser's whole damned Peerage. Before we could talk more, our ears were filled with the harsh buzzing noises of the raiding game's buzzer officially going off, starting the raiding game. Good luck to you all, I said, looking to my fellow Peerage members, and then I flew out of the room with the boosted gear gauntlet appearing on my right arm as I flew towards the student council building, which was on the complete opposite side of the school and likely was where Riser's Peerage was. As I flew closer, I saw several people fly out of the room leading from the student council area, and with some of them flying directly over to me, I decided to take whatever fight was coming to me into this fake school building, so I quickly flew into one of the classrooms with 4 of Riser's Peerage members flying in behind me. The lowly twins and the cat girls, huh? I muttered, seeing the little girls armed with chainsaws of all things and the cat girls wearing MMA gloves, obviously to help with a melee fighting style. Hee, Riser will be so happy with us for beating you, one of the little girls said, revving up her chainsaw, and then her twin agreed with revving up her own while calling out. Yeah, Riser was so mad at you, that he wants us to cut you up into teeny tiny pieces. Honestly, the twins, even with their chainsaws, were just looking cute and not really all that threatening. Right. Oh, and you too, how do you feel about the whole bet? I asked honestly, curiously, and the 2 girls shrugged in unison. The red-haired one, named Lee, was the one who responded. We were bought basically by the Phenex family. Huh, so probably another Kaneko situation with the person being all but gifted to their king basically. Alright, well, I will make up for this later, I said wryly, as the chainsaw-wielding little girls, seemingly tired of me ignoring them in order to talk to the cat girls, ran at me from both sides as they brought up their chainsaws to bring them down upon me at separate angles so they could cut me to pieces probably. With how they attempted to pincer me in place with their chainsaws, all I had to do was dash forward while spinning backward to grab the girls' heads in my hands in the spinning motion, and then as I completed the spin, I hopped into the air to smash the girls' heads down into ground with a crashing noise as the linoleum school surface broke apart, exposing the concrete beneath, with the girls going limp in my hands and then disappear into motes of light. 2 pawns of Riser Phenex. Retired, Grayfia announced, and as I looked up to the cat girls, who gulped at seeing the girls being dispatched with 1 blow, they shared a look before taking a deep breath and likewise charging me with their hands held up in a boxer's sort of stance. For a moment I considered fighting them both in melee, but I shook that thought from my head as I activated the holy lightning I copied from Akino, and then I unleashed my inner Palpatine as I held out my hands in front of me with a storm of arcing bolts of holy lightning collided with the cat girls, who screamed, falling to the ground and twitching in agony before Grayfia teleported them out to be treated as holy damage to devils was serious, even with the raiding game doctors at the ready. 2 pawns of Riser Phenex. Retired. Grayfia announced again, and I wondered how the people outside looking at this raiding game were reacting to me taking out 4 of Riser's pawns so quickly into the raiding game, even if the 2 little dears were just filled out Riser's fetish for lowlies in his peerage. I then flew out of the classroom I brought the 4 girls into, and as I flew into the sky, I saw some battles taking place in the distance, but not seeing Riser's queen in battle, yet I simply bit my lip and decided that just taking out Riser if I could, was far more important. After I flew over to the student council section, I turned on my Autumn's Decay ability, and the trees and grass around me withered and died as I began ripping the life force out of everyone in my vicinity. Riser, come on out and face me. Or is the phoenix terrified of the dragon? I goaded, and then I felt my evil pieces within me come alive as I registered to be within enemy territory. Pawn promotion to Rook, I said, feeling my body change slightly as I became denser, and with my biokinesis working in tandem with the evil piece I was able to get more out of the whole Rook bonuses. You are the one who defeated Riser's beloved pawns. Riser yelled out with an explosion of flame-covered debris. Rather than flying out of the school's many windows, he merely opened up his own entryway to fly out, majestically, with his wings made out of flames keeping him afloat. Yes. I defeated the cat girls and the lowlies. I know not much of an accomplishment, given only your sister and your queen is worth anything. But they were on the way, so I took care of them, so my friends didn't waste their own time dealing with them. I said, shrugging in a what-can-you-do manner, making Riser's face turn purple in rage at my dismissal. Now Riser Phenex. We made a bet, and what better way to settle the bet than either of us directly facing one another in mortal combat before anyone could interfere. I said, appealing to his pride, as I knew Rias and Aquino could deal with Riser's queen and Ravel didn't even want to fight, so the rest of my fellow Peerage could beat Riser's Peerage without much issue with how Rias was with Aquino and aiming to assassinate Riser's queen. Fine. Riser will defeat you fair and square. That way, the entire underworld will know that the Phenex clan defeated the Red Dragon Emperor. Ha! Riser roared triumphantly as his wings filled with fire, and he flew higher to make a massive fireball grow above his head in preparation to throw it at me.